Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. How you guys doing? So we're just trying to see if everything is working correctly before we start talking about this incredible race that just took place at Silverstone. Let me also tweet out the stream a little bit so we can get some more people in here. So, I think everything should be working fine. For anyone that is joining in the stream, just type in the chat anything you guys want to talk about. Just looking for everything to be working fine before we start talking about this. Obviously, as you can see there's a lot of things that happened. So here we are. Let's leave that there so everyone can see what happened in this race in the end, with Carlos Sainz winning his first ever Grand Prix. Sergio Perez coming in second after a great comeback drive after having some wing damage in the second restart of the race. Lewis Hamilton, you could say that he was very unlucky, only finishing third here. Mercedes had very good pace. Lewis Hamilton was very good. It's probably his best race this season so far. And it looks like maybe Mercedes have found something out with some upgrades that they brought in this week. There's a chance that we could see a more competitive Mercedes, but I think we might be a little bit far away from that, because this was a track that suits this Mercedes car. Leclerc finishing fourth, very unlucky. That final safety car in the end really ruined his race. I think he would have won this race if it wasn't for that safety car. I don't think Hamilton had the pace to catch up to Leclerc. So it's very unlucky for Leclerc, only finishing fourth in a race that he probably should have won. Alonso in fifth, another very good race from Fernando Alonso. Same with Lando Norris, very solid race. Verstappen now. Verstappen had some problems with the car. He did his job after Carlos Sainz in the first couple of laps. He was leading. Then he made a mistake, and Verstappen overtook him. But he picked up some sort of problem. He said he felt like he had a puncture. Turns out he had a lot more problems. He had some aerodynamic problems. I think he was very slow throughout the whole race, and he was fighting until the end with Mick Schumacher for that seventh spot. Mick Schumacher gains first ever points in Formula One. He had a very good race. Not great qualifying yesterday for him, but a very good race. He deserves his first ever points in Formula One, as I said. Sebastian Vettel finishing in 9th, and Magnussen in 10th, making up all the points finishes in this British Grand Prix. But there was a lot more to talk about. Because that first start was crazy. Thankfully, no one got seriously hurt. Guan Yu Zhu had a massive crash. It's honestly incredible how he went out of that crash with nothing, with no injuries at all. The car literally flipped round. He slid upside down for a few meters and then bounced onto the, almost going into the crowd. It's an insane crash. It's insane how much the halo helps. How much the halo helps them be safe. As you can see, look at this. It's incredible how he managed to get out of this with nothing, basically, with no serious problems at all. Look at this crash. Incredible how he came out, one, alive, second, nothing happened to him. As you can see, he's all right. Because it was a massive crash there, as you can see. Incredible. Very thankful for the Halo. The Halo has been saving a lot of lives the last couple of years. So this is Zhu's car. Obviously, he's fully wrecked. And this is the championship standings. Verstappen still having a healthy lead out of second place, Sergio Perez. Leclerc missing out on a win here today is not going to do well for his confidence. Sainz getting a win, on the other hand, is going to help him a lot. Russell, his first race with Mercedes, not scoring points. He had to retire after that first start. And Lewis Hamilton with another podium, catching up to his teammate. And everyone else is just way back. Norris is the best of the rest, with Valtteri Bottas behind him. There were a lot of great moments, though. There were a lot of great moments in this race. As I said, there was some great fighting going on between Leclerc, Perez and Hamilton in the last 10 laps of the race after that safety car. Fight for the podium. At first it looked like Hamilton had gotten through to second, passing both Perez and Leclerc while they were fighting, but after that Perez and Leclerc both overtook him again. Perez then overtook Leclerc, and Hamilton overtook Leclerc to finish in third. Another third place podium for Hamilton in what hasn't been his best years, as we can obviously tell. This race, though, today he was probably the fastest man on the track throughout most of the race, with Verstappen's problems with the car and with Leclerc missing a bit of his front wing. All of that said, Mercedes looked very good. They looked very good. They looked competitive. And it's going to be interesting to see how they fare next week in Austria. It is a back-to-back race in Austria. Austria is a place where Red Bull have dominated the last couple of years, especially last year. Max Verstappen had two dominant performances in Austria. I'm expecting more of the same. I'm expecting a Verstappen win next week, especially after everything he went through this week. I think he would have won today under normal circumstances. I think he would have won. Sainz could not keep him behind, as he didn't perform under pressure. Sainz is very lucky to win this race, by the way, as well, because he was saved a couple of times by safety cars, by a whole lot. First of all, he was saved with the first start. Verstappen overtook him, even though Verstappen was on a soft tyre, and could have ended bad for him that as well. But on the first start, Verstappen easily got past Sainz. Second start, Sainz kept his lead in the start, but a couple of laps later he made a mistake going off the track, and Verstappen went through into first. Then there was a lot of comments inside the Ferrari garage between Leclerc and Sainz. Leclerc wanting to be led past to go past Sainz because he was losing a lot of time behind him. Because Sainz did not have the pace today, did not have the pace that Leclerc, Verstappen, and Hamilton had. He was not on that same level. Obviously, after that, Verstappen had to pit for some sort of puncture, and I think he would have finished third under if Ocon didn't have to retire the car in the middle of the road and that safety car didn't come up. He would have finished third. I think Hamilton would have got him in the end, and he's a very lucky man. Very lucky to get pole yesterday. Very lucky to win yesterday. And after many unlucky results for Carlos Sainz this season, luck was on his side this weekend, both in qualifying and in the race. And he got his first ever win in Formula One. Leclerc didn't seem very happy, obviously, after the race. And it's going to be very, very difficult for someone to take that championship away from Max Verstappen this year. As you can see here, Vettel congratulating Mick Schumacher on his first ever points, and it's kind of like a throwback with Michael Schumacher congratulating Vettel winning his second, I think, championship here. So this was the fighting in the last couple of laps with Perez, Leclerc, Hamilton, Alonso, and Lando Norris all being in DRS zone of each other. Perez avoids investigation. I think that's correct. You could argue that he was a little bit too aggressive there at some points going off the track and forcing Hamilton a bit wide in some point of their fight, but I think it's okay to not give him a penalty. Very, very good drive, as I said, from Sergio Perez. So, this was everything I had to say about this race. Give me all your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys on the next one.